Well, hello, 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 my beautiful sisters. How are y'all doing?
Hey.
Hey, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We are live again today.
Mhm.
And want to say welcome, 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 welcome to all of our returning people. And if you're new, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. You're
Yes.
here today. And this is the Starting Over Sisters. And thank you for coming for another segment. We got a real good one again to talk about today. And let me start off with just introducing each other. I am Vera, that's Katina, and that is Grace. And again, we are the Starting Over Sisters. So today, our topic, I think, is going to be on fire because I think a lot of us have something to say about this, and we're talking about a new season, new circle, building friendships after 40. Some people say it can be difficult. Some people say they don't want to do it at all. Some people say, I don't care. I just want to keep the old people that I got. Whoever I got, that's who I got. I don't want nobody new. Wherever you are, you fall in between. It's all good. We
Right.
just gonna talk about it anyway.
Absolutely.
Let's get to
All right.
it.
Okay. So, ladies, starting over in friendships can be difficult, as we all know. But have you ever had to build a new circle of friends after a major life change, such as a divorce, a career change, becoming an empty nester, moving, or personal growth? So, if so, what was your experience like? And what advice would you give someone who feels lonely and doesn't know where to start? Vera, I'll let you go
Woo!
first.
Woohoo! That's a loaded one.
Okay.
Loaded. Loaded. Okay, so for me, um, yeah, I moved. So I moved to a whole nother country and moving to another country where another culture, learning another language, that's a whole learning curve in itself. Um, for me, it it was. I'm not even going to say it was because I'm still going through the process. I would say um, it was not difficult for me because where I moved to, I would call it a soft landing place because there are so many other expats in the country that I moved to that it wasn't hard to meet new people. Um, the Even with the language barrier, because I have like a teenage son, he met some friends, and my husband and I have made friends with the parents.
Okay.
And we have our own little group. We had dinner together. A couple of the parents didn't even know each other, and they got to meet each other for the first time. So that was like a really good thing. I realized that friendships as I've gotten older are more precious for me, and
Mhm.
that circle does not have to be large. It can be as small as you need it to be, but for me, the friendships that I have gained become a little bit more personable and special for me. Because, like, I tell my kids, you can't call everybody your friend.
Friends.
Everybody needs to get that title.
Yeah,
It could
they're
be
your
associates
associates.
and stuff,
Hmm.
associates, right?
Yeah.
But I feel that as I've gotten older, the friendships are getting to be a little bit more and more personal for me. Um, Moving to a new place can be difficult in itself, but being in a whole nother country, starting over in a whole nother country is hard when you don't know the language. And there
Hmm.
can be some isolation in there. But like I said, the area that I've moved to, it's a soft landing in that there are so many other, expats that are there that you have an opportunity to meet new people from other places of the United States in
Hmm.
this little country. So um, I I embraced it, and I've been really open to meeting new people because I am in a new place. I think you have to have like a sense of self in that you are okay and open to get the new experience. That's for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Grace?
For me, so yes, I think a lot of change when I had the little ones, even though a lot of my friends already had children. Just to kind of to restart, getting to know the people around me, right? That actually had children the same age as I do. But I also learned to even, lean on the advice and the relationships of older friends that already had children. So things change with that. A lot of times also friendships change. It evolves, right? It evolves. Sometimes people are in your life for reasons and seasons. You already always heard that. But I do know, like, even when we worked in certain job environments, it was like a whole different environment, and we all was like more closer, different things like that. And I really cherished that, even when I used to work nonprofit and in the hospital setting and all of that. But I learned, it's good that we learn from those friendships. Some of them carry over, some of them don't. But it's also a blessing that when we do come in the time of my life, that we build on it. So I would say, when I had my children, I had to kind of evolve a little bit, navigate, meet new people, embrace new people to come in my life, especially with children. And also moving, because at the same time, I also moved to a whole new environment as well. But the advice, I would say, to pray about friends. And that's what praying in the past, also praying now about people that come in our life, because we definitely want things to be in this season in our life, in the other years of our life, that it be more of a long term, and that we can pour, not only that we pour into others, that others pour in us as well, that we feel comfortable enough to pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm going through this, I need this. But get to that point that person that God put people in your life that you feel that comfortable with. That's very important. So that's even been my prayer now, even at the age I am now. So the advice is just to pray for those right friends. And I'm a firm believer, if it's not authentic, if it's not, friendship don't have to be forced. I really feel like that. It doesn't have to be forced. So that's what I'm learning too. Sometimes it's a morning when, like, oh goodness, we used to be close like this. And if there's a friendship that you kind of mourning, but God, He knows, and just pray about it. Like, okay, God is going to be shifting. If so, God is like God to restore friendships as well. So a lot of the advice I have is going to God and saying, because He is our friend. He's our friend, right?
Yes. Yes.
He is our friend. He called us friends. So that's the advice I have.
Right. He is our number one friend. Yes, number one. That's my first friend. That's the one I go to for all advice.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. Friendship for me, I can say I don't like a whole lot of friends. And just like when I start, okay, I'm gonna go to my divorce. So we really didn't have a friend group together. So I really didn't have to worry about, friend groups, within our circle, because a lot of my friends, they knew him through me. It was that kind of friendship. So it was like once we divorced, I still had my friends because they were my friends.
Yeah.
And whoever he had, was his friends or whoever. So it really wasn't a big thing with trying to figure out, okay, if a friend of mine has to have a party, am I gonna have to worry about him being at the party too because he's both of our friends? I didn't have to worry about any of that, so that wasn't a problem. and then we're starting like a new job. So yes, and to learn, get to know people and people and a little like secretive, but I don't open up. Um, kind of, try to get a feel of how everybody is and their ways. And so it takes a minute for me to open up to you and kind of invite you in a circle, and still not gonna be in my school. You're gonna be like a just that's think about it. Out of all the people that we used to communicate with, it's just you and Vera. We're the tight ones. We've grown to know each other, and we trust each other, and we've opened up to each other. So, when you're talking about having friends at work, that's just that's just a little different for me when it comes to friendships and in the workplace. And then being an empty nester, I do have friends that are empty nesters too. So I still keep that same circle of friends. We might not see each other every day or talk to each other every day, but hey, if we want to hang out, we can. So I do like to keep my circle small. And like I said, I'm very personal. So I don't like to, I don't have a problem with getting to know new people. But I'm a little particular about that,
Yeah,
because you
I
can't
agree.
trust everybody.
You
And
really
then,
can.
and people that say, they want to be your friend, not that people coming up saying, hey, can I be your friend? But just the people that you might get that vibe, and they might just, hey, you want to go out? Hey, do you go out? Do you drink? You want to go out after work or something like that? You have those kind, and then as it continue to go, you might develop, say, hey, that person pretty cool. I can hang with them. So I do have a few friends like that, but still, they're just, I don't know, they're just friends that I have that I can call on to say, hey, let's go get a drink or let's go get something to eat. And we do that, and that's about it. But then I have my other friends where I can call and say, girl, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you this. What you think about this? So I have that circle of friends too. But like I said, when it comes to meeting new people, it's just hard. It is just so hard because you don't know, you just don't know about people and what direction they're trying to
Excuse me.
go into, why they want to be so close to you. I just have an issue with that.
I don't know, like
Yeah.
as we are starting over 40, like where are you meeting people, friends? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Well,
it's like is it like where are we like getting these people from? Like where are they coming from? So like
that's a good question, Vera.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is either work, or if you was invited to somebody else's function and you're all there, if you're invited to somebody's birthday and it's at a restaurant, and and everybody introducing everybody to such and such, and maybe the person that you sat next to, y'all kind of chatted, or the person you sat across from, y'all chatted up. And so, I don't know, then maybe, not that you asked them for their number or anything like that, but I guess it's just maybe your friend have another function and that same person there again, and you're like, hey girl, how you doing? I ain't seen you since the last time.
But
you know what? We need to change numbers. Cause you know what, we be on that same stuff. So come on. So
But then, but can I say this? But then when you exchange numbers, then it's the
I
follow
can't
up.
hear
It's
you,
like,
Grace.
oh, I'm sorry.
I hear you. I can hear you.
You can hear? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Then when you exchange
You're
numbers,
gonna
it's the
have to tell
follow
me
up.
what she said, because I can't.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's the follow up, you know, because I met a really nice person the other day. It was my daughter went to a volleyball camp and we exchanged numbers. And then I'm like, okay, what is the process of the follow up? Do I, without being invasive or intrusive, or you know what I mean? I don't know. What is that? So being, you know, being our age is kind of like, okay, because what we've learned, our experiences in the past, it kind of does, you know, change the dynamic. So
I don't know. I am gonna agree with you on that. Like, how often are we like really checking in on the person, type of thing? You know what I mean? Like, who do you trust them enough to like call them? Like, you know, you always be like, yeah, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. But what is the guarantee that you're gonna call them back, type of thing, right? Are you getting numbers? Are you really gonna call them?
right.
And you know, like it's even like when you were dating, right? And you know, like the guy be like, he gave you his number or whatever, and be like, you gonna call me? You be like, yeah, I'm gonna call you.
Yeah, it's like that, because you kind of, I want to say it's you're hesitant. It's not a fear, but it's a, you know, so much, you know, our lives, you want to make sure whoever you have entering our life, that it doesn't cause no chaos, no drama, no extra bad energy. So you kind of thinking about along that line. Okay, do I have the capacity to deal with maybe possible, you know, chaos? So that's what it is. And I know it's a decision to make, and then pray, like, okay, God, is this person is, you know, yeah. So it's just a lot of questions in that aspect.
Yeah,
that makes
like,
us hesitant.
it's true. It's true. I mean, like, cause you know, as Katina talked about, like, you don't want, like, do you want to invite everybody? Not everybody, but it's like certain people you may not necessarily want them in that circle. They were cool. They were cool for the function, right?
Right.
They were cool for the function. But do I want to continue after the function? That type of thing, you know?
Right.
I think, you know, like when we were younger and stuff, like you had your friends from high school, you had your friends, you know, some people you might have met at a club or a party, whatever. And then, you know, like as we get older, the meeting grounds change, right? So like most of our time is spent at work. So we got our work friends. And
or your kids' function.
Your kids' functions, or even like church, the people that you know from church.
Right.
Church friends, those type of things. But like outside of those things, I think we not back up a little bit. I think that we have different categories of our friends. That I think that's where I'm going. Like we have different categories of our friends. We got our church friends, we got our work friends, we got our kids friends, we got our Pilates friends. We got our Zumba friends, you know, whatever, right? Like, we got them, you know what I'm saying? So I think that the circle, the categorical circle that we have of friends, I think it changes as we get older, and sometimes it gets I believe that it gets smaller as we do get older. I think it does get smaller. I don't know if it's like on purpose.
Yeah, I do notice that my circle, as I've gotten older, my circle has gotten smaller. That is interesting that you say that, because I remember being in my 20s. I was rolling deep. I call it, like it was like, you know, meet me here, meet me there. It got so much harder to meet, and then they kind of fall away. And And then it's the kind of like, oh goodness, I remember the time when I used to go all these places and hang out. But yeah, the circle does get smaller. I agree with that. Yeah, I
Mm,
don't know, but
I don't know if
but I
it's
know it has the potential to grow, like the title, new circle, right?
right.
It does have that potential to grow.
Yep. New season, new
New
circle.
season, yeah, but we have to
So,
be open.
yeah, I was about to say, because what fears do you have when it comes to meeting, new people, new friendships?
Right. Yeah, fears is, just like in a relationship, like it's like with in a relationship, you don't want to be hurt or rejected or betrayed. You have all of those
Mm-hmm.
feelings, so you put a protective shield up, like, I don't know, it's,
Mm-hmm.
so just those would be some of the ones, because like a relationship, yeah,
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that spirit knows spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I ask,
Mm-hmm.
I ask God to make sure that the spirits are right and that whoever comes through, he's going to block those people that don't need to be there in the first place, right?
That's right.
Just
That's
block them
right.
from the get-go. So like the spirit that I am putting out there, I'm attracting those people that need to be attracted to that spirit. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that, again, I wouldn't say it's like necessarily a fear. I think it's more of the cautionary tales as we get older. I think we become a little bit more cautious of the people that we bring forth in our circle, because it's protected. It becomes more protected as we get older, because our patience is kind of leveling out. So
Right.
you can't have the best of 20s when you're 45. And if you still messy at 45, I don't know what to tell you. Like, then we gotta go back to self-reflection, because like, what is it that you're doing that these type of people are always coming around, or that it's always an issue? This type of thing, messiness is an issue.
Yeah.
Like, so I believe that, as we get older, I think we protect the circle that we have. And like, for me, I protect my peace. Like, my peace is insurmountable. It's priceless. So whoever comes forth in that realm is important. It's important, whoever it is that I bring in that realm, because I'm protecting my peace. And like I said, I think that the patience gets a little bit more leveled. Like, I don't want the foolishness to come forth. So I thank God that he protects me from the foolishness.
Yes, there's a lot of foolishness out there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yes, it is.
It is.
So what helps you trust, like if you are meeting somebody, again, if it's wherever you are, if you're at a function, at a kids event, and you are meeting people, and you might be like, okay, well, she seems okay. Yeah, I don't mind exchanging my number, with her, because maybe she invited you. My kid is having a birthday party. I want your kid to come. Here's my number. And you start to, y'all both start to text back and forth and call each other, see each other at the practice or whatever. So what helps you to be able to trust that person to where you're like, okay, I can bring her into my circle of friendship? Or even just being a friend with that person, period. Not maybe bringing her into your circle, but just being a friend of yours.
Yeah, I think when, like, a friend overall, not just like a game, like not just practice, but just saying what makes you trust that person. I guess the more conversations we have, the more time we spend, and you feel it pouring in. Because a lot of times we'll meet people and we're pouring out, especially our profession, right? We become the whole therapist or something to them. But then when you feel that pouring in, like, okay, But I know this is beyond like us just meeting someone with our kids. But I guess you will feel it. I think that intuition you have, that God's
Mhm.
given us discernment. You will actually feel it. You will.
Yeah,
You
and I
definitely will
agree.
feel it.
Yeah, I agree what you're saying, Grace. Like you said, especially when it comes to like, again, if it's your kids and it's another parent, right? The more and more that you see that parent, because I think back to like one of the parents that I met, my daughter when she was doing like some acting stuff, and she was like, maybe I don't know, she was young, elementary school, and I met this parent at one of the studios, and we would, hey, how you doing? Talk, exchange numbers. I mean, it took a minute, but we eventually exchanged numbers after seeing each other there, on a regular basis. And then it became, hey, my child, I do this, I bake cakes, and I'm like, oh, okay, my daughter's birthday coming up. Can you bake her a cake?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and just getting to know more and more about that person as we continue to be in the same, areas together, and to where, she became a resource to me and I became a resource to her, to say, okay, well,
Right.
we're gonna leave this studio, we're gonna go here, but I can't,
Yeah.
can you check it out? And she was like, yeah, I can go check it out for us,
Right.
and
The effort, the effort there.
yeah,
You can feel
yeah,
it. Yeah.
and we're still friends, to this day. Our kids are, mine
Yeah.
off to college, hers getting ready to go to college,
Uh-huh.
but she is one that I could call to, give her any information, let her know what's going on with me personally, pray over me, so
Yeah.
she is that. But it took time, like you said, it just take constant time of seeing that person, on a regular basis, and really getting to know them, outside of that activity as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
It's yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry there. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking like how can a person put themselves out there? Because like we said, it's kind of hard to meet new friends. How can a woman put herself out there and not feel awkward or discouraged to like be open to meet new people? Like what would
Mhm.
you say? What would you say for that over 40 lady who's listening?
I think for me, it's just about having confidence, in yourself. And just like when you walk into a open room and you're at a function, it doesn't matter what function it is, and just going and introducing hey, how you doing? If you see this circle walking up there, hey, how you doing? I'm Katina. Of course, everybody most likely gonna speak or whatever, but I just feel like having that confidence to just go into different, rooms of people, and, introducing myself and joining in the conversation, with them. And hey, if I feel that certain vibe, like, you know, this not my type of group, I just keep moving, you know, I just keep moving. I mean, that's how I can say I would pretty much put myself out there, but it would be amongst, other people, an event going on or something like that. Now, if I'm just going, I mean, other than that, if I'm just going to, I don't know, out to eat, I don't know. I mean, how I'm just sitting there by myself eating. I can't. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go sit at the table with somebody else. Hey, girl, what y'all eating? Well, I sit over here by myself, so.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's, I don't know if I could do that, but yeah. But a good thing is I met somebody at my job, and we even flew to New Orleans, and people was like, "Oh wow!" But we gained a rapport, and even though it was my first time meeting her, it was like I knew her for years, right? So that's that's an example of me meeting somebody after my age of 40, but it has to be, you have to feel it, like Vera was saying, spirit no spirit. So that's it really has to, for me, just like Katina, you said, I don't let too many people in my space at all. It takes a lot. You know what I mean? Because
It does.
protecting peace is real. It really is, and
Yeah, it does.
So it really, so that's an example. And I think about like, wow, I really did that, but it have to be something about that person that you feel a peace, a calmness about it, and God will let you know about the person too. So, or whether to go across the hall and talk to the people and give me a number.
That part. Well, I'm just like so excited that we had this opportunity to talk, but I just want to throw out a question for the audience, and maybe you guys can just let us know in the comments. All right, so let me just throw that out there. If you could build your ideal circle of friends today, what 3 qualities would those friendships have? Share your thoughts in the comments, and we'd love to hear from you. So don't forget to do like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell.
Yes.
So that you will be notified the next time we are live.
That's right.
Because we love to see y'all come through. So,
Yes.
Ladies, it's been a pleasure as always. I love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Yeah.
So, audience, everyone, thank you.
You guys are examples of lifetime friends. We met in a certain work setting and
a certain
yes.
But it's wonderful how that we you never know how God works. So
for real.
So I appreciate you guys.
Most definitely.
All right.
All right, ladies.
Thank you guys for following us.
Thank y'all for coming to see us. We appreciate you. Till the next time. Be good to yourself and be good to the others. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.